So with the new year right around the corner, 2022 is in our sights. There's so many changes that happen with Tesla throughout 2021, and there's so many changes coming in 2022, potentially. EV credits, new design changes, price increases, new batteries, Giga Austin going online, the list goes on. And honestly, I've kind of taken the last almost 2 years, now it's been a little over a year and a half since we bought our Tesla Model Y, to kind of reflect on this a little bit. Was it worth it? Is it worth all the EV hype? Is it worth all the charging issues? Is it worth all the panel gaps? And then more importantly, if you were on the fence trying to decide, should you take that plunge? Should you jump in there? Should you get yourself a Tesla Model whatever coming in 2022? So we're going to talk about all that today. So sit back, relax. You guys are watching The Tall Tesla Guy. So we are coming up on almost 2 years, about a year and a half, a little over a year and a half, because it was August of 2020 that we got our car, Tesla Model Y, and if you guys have seen my other videos, you know that I love it. I love the drive, I love the thrill and excitement of pushing that accelerator, that instant torque that you get from it. I love the space and comfort in the car, and at 6'5", with a baby in tow, all the stuff that comes along with a baby, and a very large golden retriever, we have more than enough space in the car to fit everything that we need in our day-to-day. So that was important to me in the beginning, outside of just fitting in the car in general. And I can say that the Tesla is top-notch. It's been perfect for us. It's been perfect for our family. But it doesn't come without its own challenges. Coming into an EV from a traditional gas vehicle was almost a lifestyle change. I love the fact that I wake up in the morning and it's charged and ready to go. I do plug it in at night. I ran a 240 outlet into my garage. I plug it in and get about 30 miles per hour of charging. So every morning it's like having a full tank of gas. It's fantastic and it's a great feeling. However, the car itself gives me about 300 miles of range. And that was something to think about, something to consider. Especially moving forward if you were deciding to get one to pull the trigger. Is that range, is that mileage going to work for you? Now there's charging stations through the entire country. So there's no doubt that there's places to charge the car, but it does take a little bit longer. I can happily say that after taking a couple road trips in the car, it did not become a burden. It was more than enough time to sit back, relax for a minute, stretch the legs, get the baby out of the car, and then the car is charged up. Using Tesla's supercharger network, it charges super fast anyway, 10-15 minutes, more than a gas station, you know, the asterisks around that, but not hours like people think. So it didn't affect me, it didn't bother me. But if you're thinking about it moving into 2022, whether or not you should actually take the plunge, there's a couple of things you need to consider. When we bought our car, our Tesla Model Y back in 2020, only 18 months ago, it was about $50,000. Well, now it's about $60,000. So it's more expensive. It's about $10,000 more. Now they've had price increases since then. They've made some changes on it. They've offered a different paint color that's free versus just the white. However, the car itself is just going up and up and up. And a lot of that has to do with the EV credit. A lot of it has to do with supply and demand issues. Elon knows that people want the car. And then there were chip shortages last year. Now that affected everybody, not just Tesla, but it definitely did trickle down to Tesla as well. So things like that jumped that price up. And then I thought to myself, if I didn't buy it, if I hadn't bought it back then, would I want to buy it now? Would it still be worth it? Now I would do the same thing you guys are doing. I'd watch videos, I'd do some research on it, but I'd come to the conclusion that I definitely want to try it. And I can say that if you take a test drive in a Tesla anything, you're going to love it right out the door. I'll say that about 95% of the cars or people that take test drives in the car end up buying it. We bought it that same day. So I can happily say that if you test drive it, you're going to want to buy it. And even at $10,000 more, now it's getting close to being a luxury vehicle price. Now it's not Mercedes, it's not Porsche, anything like that, but it's definitely more than a Toyota or a Honda or something like that. So if you're in the market for that, then this is probably not your space, at least not until the Model 2 comes out, the sub $30,000 Tesla. But nonetheless, this Tesla Model Y, even at $60,000, I would happily say that after a year and a half of ownership, I still love the car, I still love the drive, and I think about it when I'm not driving it, which is an odd feeling, and I can happily say, I can guarantee that you're going to love the car. So there's a couple of things to consider also though. The $60,000 price tag, if it actually creeps up to that out the door, when you add destination, all that kind of stuff, taxes, is this EV credit. We've been talking about this EV credit ad nauseum the entire year. They've been teasing us for over 2 years. And it became one of those things that wasn't available for Tesla, then it was going to be, then it was a price cap, then it was a union thing, and this kind of stuff. It sounds like in the end, it's going to be about $8,000 if you buy a Tesla, brand new in 2022. So if you're looking to buy it right now, unfortunately, you've got about 6 months to wait anyway, so you would definitely fall within the 2022 window. But if you were thinking about taking delivery today, you might want to give it a couple of weeks and make it into January. However, I will say that this was on the floor of the House, it was on the floor of the Senate. It passed one, didn't pass the other yet, and then they went into break. So we are not going to know the history, the future of this tax bill, this EV credit bill, until we get to 2022, unfortunately. And at that point, you will have already had to have bought the car in order to take full advantage of it. So I can say that if you take that $8,000 out or you add it in, then it puts it right to the price that we paid for it. And I would definitely pull the trigger on it. But even if you don't get it, it's a super fast drive, it's a super fun drive, and it's comfortable, which is important for me and my family anyway. And I think it'd be important for you as well. Now, not to just seem like this is an advertisement for Tesla, because I do promote it. And I mean, you've seen other videos that I love the car, stuff like that. However, it doesn't come without its own challenges. The charging network. The Tesla supercharging network is amazing, and it's practically everywhere you want to be. However, we're talking about going to a place that maybe doesn't have a supercharger. What do you do there? What if you don't live in a home with a garage? What do you do there? How do you charge your car if you don't have a 240 outlet? Now, there's options that come with Tesla, but those are challenges you need to kind of think about a little bit. Charging on the road, charging at home. And then also, in general, the EV. It's a complete electric vehicle. There's gas stations on every corner. So even if your car only got, if say you had a Hummer H1 and only gets 7 miles per gallon of gas, you know that there's a gas station within 7 miles of where you are, most likely. Chances are there isn't a supercharger or a charging network. Now it's getting more bolstered. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Tesla's going to add 30,000 more superchargers over the next 10 years. Electrify America, PlugShare, all these different, charging networks are going to get there, especially if that EV tax credit passes. So I say in the future, you're going to have more and more options to charge and more places to get it. And this is even if you don't have the ability to charge at home. If you have the ability to charge at home, it's a no-brainer. You're going to love the car. You're going to love it through and through. If you don't, you're going to still love it. You're just going to have a couple things to think about. And then it goes into quality control. Now, I can say at the very beginning, my Tesla is actually a 30,000 model or 30,000 VIN. So it seems pretty high, but it was actually near the beginning of the production. It wasn't immediately when it launched, which was about April of 2020. So we didn't get ours till September, actually. We placed the order in August or July even. So we were a little bit down there, a few months down the road, but I know that people got the car in the beginning, and Elon even said, don't buy it in the beginning of any sort of launch. And he was rightfully so, just because they still tried to figure out the production process. They were still trying to figure out the stamping of the materials, all that kind of thing. And until they get that Giga press online in Austin that's going to give you the single cast frame, you're going to have alignment issues. Now, it's not to say that no other car has them, because we have a Jeep that has alignment issues. We had a Volkswagen Passat that had alignment issues. It's more prevalent with Tesla, and people grab onto it and gravitate towards it. Panel gaps. Now, they do fix some of them, though a lot of them are going to be within spec, and you'll find that out if you end up buying the car. But the majority of them don't impact or affect the drive quality. Now, we got lucky with ours. We only had a few minor issues, a few minor paint issues, but for the most part, everything was great. And it was nothing that kind of hindered or, took away from the experience in my mind. Now, I'll say, moving forward, they've kind of honed in on their manufacturing process, their stamping process. They're a lot better than they used to be. So it may not even be an issue, say you were to buy one today. But it's something to keep in mind and something to look out for when you get there. And then outside of that, you got to kind of open your mind a little bit. The EV experience is 100% different than the traditional gas experience. The drive quality, the acceleration, the infotainment system is amazing in a Tesla, and it's something that I haven't seen in any other car, even high-end cars. So you get stuff while you're supercharging. You can watch YouTube videos. While you're waiting outside the gas station or the grocery store, you can jump in, check your email. You can play games in the car. They even have wireless remotes that work for the new Model S and X have screens in the back for the rear passengers. Stuff like that kind of cements the idea that Tesla is basically a technology company that happens to produce a car. But it does make for an exciting drive, and it makes for an exciting user experience, which is important to me too, because you can get in any car and drive in it. But in the end, I want to know that I got there comfortably. I want to know that I got there safely, and Tesla's a 5-star safety rated vehicle. all of them anyway. And I also want to know that I had a good experience while doing it. Now, obviously, it's all about the drive, but I have passengers with me as well. Are they comfortable? Are they enjoying the ride? Are they enjoying their space? And with the Tesla Model Y, Model 3 has a panoramic glass roof, Model S has a glass roof, same with the X. It's the experience of driving in the car that you get with a Tesla that you don't get in any other car. So with all that in mind, I mean, I would happily say, like I said before, that I would pull the trigger and get myself a new Tesla. I would buy one in 2022. If you haven't already, take that plunge. You're really gonna enjoy it. You're not gonna regret it. And in the end, I don't regret anything I did as far as buying the car. I wouldn't regret buying it again, and that may be in the future. So either way, let me know what you think. Throw it down in the comments below. If you had anything that maybe I missed out in here, maybe some of your experiences, let's talk about it. But either way, I hope you guys are finding an opportunity to enjoy the holidays, however you spend them, and finding a way to put a smile on your face. Hope you have a great week, a great month, and get to close out the year well, and that you're staying safe out there. Thanks for watching, everybody.